Hello, everyone, and welcome to day 2 of Thrive. So, we are ready. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Thrive Day 2. Hi, so you are welcome to Thrive Day 2. Sorry for all of that glitch. I'm so excited to have every one of you here today. It's so exciting to have every one of you join us today. So yesterday we had Phoebe dish out so much value to us, and we left home and we left the meeting fully packed with knowledge. We had Miss Shola Akintayo dish out so much wisdom to us, and we we would be moving forward into today's meeting. I am Blossom Obi, the founder and convener for Through Women Conference. Today, I will be speaking to you on building growth and sustaining the drive for growth. Very quickly, I would like to shed some light on what we learned yesterday. Phoebe spoke extensively on how we can maximize opportunities for growth. And then she spoke to us about self-awareness and how to become better and socially aware, and how to actually create opportunities that help us discover our potentials and better still help position ourselves in different areas and industries we find ourselves in. Now, we'll be moving forward into today's segment. And before I forget, Shola Akintayo spoke to us about balancing purpose, life, and family, balancing work, purpose, and life, balancing work, purpose, and family. We both know that work and family are a critical aspect of our lives, and some of us have left one suffering for the other. But she actually spoke to us extensively how we can carry the blueprints to God and help God give us his blueprint instead of drawing up your own plans. How about you going to God for his plans and then asking him to show you the ropes on what to do and how to become better? So today I will be speaking to you on building and sustaining the drive for growth. 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 Now, in building and sustaining the drive for growth, everything we have ever desired or wanted was as a result of what we saw, heard, or thought about. Now, you must understand that your mind is being influenced by what you see, what you've heard, or what you've heard, or what you actually pictured. Now, in building and sustaining the drive for growth, you have to move from a fixed mindset to a growth mindset. Now, you must be wondering, what is a fixed mindset? 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 Sorry about that. Um, what is a fixed mindset? Very quickly, let me quickly get into that. What is a fixed mindset? Everything we have. A fixed mindset is a mindset that repels growth. Now, let me expand on that. You are not open to criticism. A fixed mindset is not open to criticism. Or you go about feeling and saying, oh, that's how I am. Like, take it or leave it, that's how I am. A fixed mindset is somebody who gets jealous when somebody who is as good as you in your field or in your area of expertise walks into the room. You start to feel jealous, or you know that feeling that you get when someone who you start to feel less of yourself. That's a fixed mindset. Now I want you to be honest with yourself. Do you have this kind of mindset? Do you have a fixed mindset? I'm going to be shaking a lot of tables today, but don't worry. If you intend to be a success, you need to hear everything. Now, we know that success says yes to the man who says yes to success, and clarity does not automatically come because you turn 29, 25, or 30, or even 18 or 19. You have to participate in your growth. Developing a growth mindset is a lifelong journey. What is growth? Growth is an increase in number of importance or something. Like when you increase, you move forward, you grow. That is growth. For me, I see growth as an inevitable aspect of our human life. Growth is an inevitable aspect of our human life, and how we choose to influence such encounters is what determines how we develop or scale as an individual. Very quickly, we'll be looking at 4 practicable steps that can help you grow and sustain it. 4 practicable steps that can help you grow and sustain it. 1, you need to view challenges as an opportunity. View challenges as an opportunity. View challenges as an opportunity. You need to eliminate fear. In viewing challenges as an opportunity, you need to eliminate fear. Fear cripples. It tells you, oh, your contribution is not relevant. If you said something, it won't change anything. You don't have to speak. What you would have said would not make a difference. Oh, don't try this, you look dumb. You're not that smart. Your contribution is not needed. That's fear. Now, I'm going to quickly share a story with you. Now, a couple of days back, towards the planning for the conference, like I had one of a mentees I was like helping out, and then she was supposed to like be in the live session that was supposed to help create awareness. It was an IG live session that was supposed to help create awareness for Thrive and then everything about the event. And then outside the network issues that she had, because in some parts of Nigeria they still have network issues. Outside the network issues that she had, you understand, she said something that really got to me, and then I had to like start questioning some things that I already knew that she should have overcome by now. She said um she was scared that she would stutter and embarrass herself or something like that. And then it got me thinking, like, why would you say something like that? What makes you think that you going live would make you stutter and embarrass yourself? Now that's a crippling mindset, and that's fear. Fear cripples you. So she ended up not joining the live because she felt that she would say something that wasn't it, that wasn't good enough, that wasn't smart, that wasn't, oh wow. You understand? So fear cripples. Fear cripples. Now, Steph will be a wonderful coach and digitalpreneur. She shared with us a couple of days back how um back then when she still had a crippling mindset, how fear dealt with her, and then she felt that she wasn't good enough to launch courses that people would actually see and then buy. Let me quickly add, Now she earns in six figures, and six figures in dollars. No, now she previously had the belief that she wasn't good enough to even launch any course, let alone have people who would buy in dollars. Now, this was an aspect that she felt she was not good at. She was good, but made her feel like she wasn't good enough. Now, that's what fear can do to you. So, even in building and sustaining growth, you need to eliminate fear. You need to eliminate fear. In building and sustaining growth, you need to eliminate fear. Now, another point we're going to look at is another point we're going to look at is okay, very quick. Another point we're going to look at is read, keep learning, keep learning. Learning never stops. Learning never stops. Learning never stops. In building and sustaining the drive for growth, learning never stop. Learning never stop. In building and sustaining the drive for growth, learning never stop. Now, so I have a friend who says he hates reading. Now, in learning, you have to read for it, right? So he says, I hate reading, but spend 5 minutes with the guy, you get value. So how does he do it? How does he work? I figured out over time, this thing, getting to know him and spend time with him. At this set of people, there is by which they are constantly learning. Yes, they don't like reading, quite all right, but it has not stopped them from learning. You find out that they are either listening to audiobooks or they are watching videos on the areas of expertise and influence. So they are ever learning. Yes, they tell you, oh, I don't like reading. It doesn't mean that they don't learn. It doesn't mean that it only means that they've not limited their mind from learning through like physically reading with your eyes. They've expanded other this opportunities that is out there that you can acquire knowledge with. Thank God for technology that has helped us with audiobooks, and then so many things are out there on YouTube that you can use to actually make research and even influence your field of expertise. Now, prioritize learning over what people think. We're still talking about learning, and you need to prioritize learning over what people think. Now, I'm just going to be sharing a lot of stories with you so that you make this as practicable as necessary. Now, let's say some weeks back, I had a friend who said, oh, she can't do this. It was a particular thing she needed to try in singing. So she said she can't do this. And then when she said it, I had to like turn and look at her. I looked at her because of what she said. I can't do this. And I'm thinking, you've not even tried. How do you know that you can't? Now, that's a mindset that we're trying to correct. You do not go about saying, oh, I can't do this when you've not even tried to do it. Now, if you try and you fail, you found out ways that it did not work, not necessarily that you failed. So, prioritize learning over what people would think. I'm sure why she felt that, oh, I can't is because maybe she didn't want to sound off key, or she didn't want to sound out of place. Now, sometimes when we prioritize learning over what people would think, we find that even when we make mistakes, we've learned from the process, and we've actually figured out one way that this thing will not work. We have learned. Have we not? Yes. One way that it didn't work. Now we're allowed to try other ways. So you need to prioritize learning over what people would think. Now, the next thing we're going to be looking at in building and sustaining the drive for growth is design your learning goals. Now, the truth is, our mind at first fights anything that puts it in discomfort. But just like every other thing, we've taught it to like every other thing we've taught it to imbibe. Imagine you've taught your mind to, oh, okay, like back home in Nigeria, like, oh, you eat three squares meal, your mind already knows that if you don't eat throughout the day, it's like, ah, I've not eaten today. I only ate once today. You have imbibed such into your mind. Or if somebody dresses like this, we've been imbibed into the cultural idea that, oh, this person dressed like a Yoruba person, this person dresses like an Igbo person, this person dresses like an Hausa person. Those are things that we've taught our mind to imbibe over the couple of years. Now we can teach our mind to constantly seek learning and growth. People often don't remember what you tell them, but they remember how you made them feel. It teaches that our mind remembers. It remembers joy, it remembers pain, it remembers hurt. This means, what does this tell you? It means that we can teach our mind to remember positivity. We teach our mind to remember to move even in the face of difficulty. That's why the Bible says, remember ye not the former things, neither consider the things of old. Behold, I will do a new thing. Now, your mind is an extraordinary fertile garden. It will grow any seed, literally, because it's that fertile. Whether the seed is good, whether it's bad, it will grow the seed. Now, these seeds are your ideas. The seeds that your mind grows are your ideas. If you put the seeds in your mind, it will grow the seeds. If you put fear, it will grow fear. If you put limitation, that's what you're going to get. Now, if you put faith, you will get good results too. Your mind does not know the difference between imagination and reality. I know, right? You did not hear it. I'm going to say it again. Your mind doesn't know the difference between imagination and reality. Ask me how I know. Let me be real with you. So, picture you were watching a movie. You are watching a movie and you're crying with the person is crying in the movie. You know it's a movie, but yet you're still crying because your mind does not know that it's a movie. Your mind knows it's a movie, but your imagination is engrafted with that film production that it causes you to even react emotionally with it. Even take for example those horror movies. We sometimes, the person is moving and we are moving with the person. The person is trying to climb up and we see ourselves moving, climbing up in a chair. I remember when I was little. Let me just say this. I remember when I was little, would be I seen a horror movie and then either the person is injured and then the person is moving backwards slowly because the killer is coming close to the person. We find ourselves moving with the person, or somebody makes a face in a movie and then we are following the person to make that face. It's not because of anything, it's because that's how our mind has been programmed to work. So your mind doesn't have the ability to reject seeds. So you must pay attention to what enters into your mind. I was telling my friend the other day, and then because she was like, "Oh, do you know the song?" I said yes, but I don't know the lyrics. How do I know the song? Because they constantly play it where I live. And then she was like, "Oh, so you know the song?" I was like, "Yes, I know the song." But trust me, I only know this part of the lyrics. Any other part, I don't ever know. And then we find ourselves like our mind actually picking things that we don't want it to pick. So we have to be intentional about what enters into our mind. That's why you need to dare to cultivate a growth mindset by consciously embracing ideas that help you become, by consciously embracing ideas that help you become, there to become a person of learning, there to become a person of learning. The word tells, the word of God tells us that nothing is given to a man except he receives of it. Now, how can God give you when you are not open to learning? God doesn't waste resources. He doesn't. So how can he give you when you're not open to receive? Your mind needs to be right to receive. Your mind needs to be right to receive. In building and sustaining the drive for growth, one thing we need to get certain and clear of is our vision. We need to get clear and certain of our vision. Get clear on your vision. What is that path that you want to venture into? What is that business that you're into? What are the goals set out? What do you hope to achieve from this venture that you're moving into? Get clear on that path. Get clear on that path. Like was something very striking to me. Like when you're talking about growth and the drive for growth, in what aspect of your life do you desire this growth? If you say in other every aspect of your life, fine and good, but you need to get clear. Okay, this aspect of my life, where do I want growth right now? Where do I want to see myself? How do I want to improve from this stage to that stage? If it's academically, how do I want to be better? How do I want to be? What are the necessary steps to help me get better? So people always have something to say. Get clear on your vision. I remember when I started through men conference, the first edition, someone said to me, said, why are you wasting money? Why are you wasting money? You're wasting money helping people that don't even know you. Now, that word could have like discouraged me and said, oh, that's true, I could actually use this money and put it into myself, because we spent quite a huge sum of money. I think you can visit our Instagram page to like we had UAC Food sponsors. Shout out to UAC Foods Nigeria for first edition of True Men Conference in Owerri, Imo State, Nigeria. So he was like, why are you wasting money helping people you don't even know? Now the idea that I was helping people who don't even know, that's what he thinks. Now that is my vision, to help women. So for him to think that, or because he felt that that was it, but I knew what I wanted to achieve with the foundation generally. And it did not stop me from actually moving. What people said did not stop me. Now I've had friends who always call me, oh, the only philanthropist I know. Oh, you did this. Oh, you did that. Yes, accolades of men are good, but and sometimes if you pay too much attention to the comments of people, you will not get very far in life, because certain individuals are opinionated about certain aspects of your life. So you need to get clear so you do not allow their opinions to derail you from your goal. So people always have something to say, but the vision is yours. The vision is yours. People would always have. See, the thing is, like, I think in Nigeria, they say something like, people must talk, but you guys do your thing. And then it's like you always have people saying stuff. You always have people say the difference between what they say and what you do is the results along the line. Is the results along the line. So get clear on your vision so your progress is noticeable. Yesterday we had a question from one of the attendees who asked, oh, what if you are doing um you're working and moving in line of excellence, and then you're not getting achievable result. And then I had to come in to say something, because excuse me, because there is no way that you will be moving and doing excellently and you would not have results. Yes, you might not have as massive as results that you require, but if it's for results, you will get results. And massive results comes over time with mastery of your expertise, over time with gaining competence of your skill, over time with gaining clarity on how to better yourself, develop who you are and the person that you're becoming. Now, get sustainability to carry out all that is needed for you. Getting sustainability to carry out all that is needed for your vision falls to you. You owe it to yourself to find out, oh, okay, this vision I'm carrying, how do I intend to move it? How do I intend to go about it? What are the steps to take? Who do I need to talk to? Who do I need to reach out to help me? How do I get this done? These are things that you need to ask yourself. You need to pray, you need to research, critical thinking. So now, guys, listen to this one. I discovered that Albert Einstein, I know, right? Albert Einstein, I discovered that he was slow at learning. Who would have thought, right? He was slow at learning. And it really got me thinking because I was like, Albert Einstein, slow at learning. So now, sources say that research actually says that he was actually slow at learning all the things that his peers learned very fast. Maybe if it took them 5 minutes to read this or this, it will take him maybe a day. And then, but look at the long run. Some of his peers, yeah, we know their names, but who's the boss of the game? So it's not how fast you can learn, it's how well you stay learning, how well you stay learning. I remember my boss in my fashion academy, because I'm also a fashion designer. He says something when you learn something new. Shout out to Thomas East Teachers Academy. So what's it called? Nigeria. He says something. He says when you're there, you know. And then because then when you start out and then you're doing like straight lines or some other circle lines, like trying to master your lines, he tells you you're not there yet. And truthfully, you're looking at your pieces and you're like, I'm there. And then he looks at you like, you're not there yet. And then do you know what some of us used to do? When we see that our work is good to us, we take it to to the staffs. To the staffs, does it look good? If it looks good, then we take it to our boss for reviews and criticism of how to improve, or on how to improve. Now, if we see that it's not even good to us, we don't even cross the threshold of his office to even show it to him for criticism. That's how we were growing slowly too, and our eye was keenly looking to perfection over our skill and mastery, because you just automatically know that this thing isn't good. Why? You have stayed in it over time to know what is good and what is not. Now, another step that you must imbibe in building and sustaining the drive for growth is closing the gap. Now, I know what you must be thinking. Oh, what is happening? What is happening? What is happening? Like, what do you mean by closing the gap? Oh, yes, I'm going to throw more light on that. Now, do you see the person that you are right now and the person that you want to be? What is separating the two persons now? The blossom that I am currently and the blossom that I want to be. What is separating these two individuals? Outside time, there are steps to take, there are accomplishments to be made, there are growth processes to encounter to become the person that I want to be. Now that's a gap. And so in building and sustaining the drive for growth, you need to close that gap. And now, don't get me wrong, closing the gap doesn't happen overnight. No, it doesn't. Closing the gap doesn't happen overnight. Now, it's a journey, because growth is an ever increasing and ever living journey. As you are alive, you will need growth. You will long for growth. You will want to drive. You want to move forward. If you hit this goal, you want to move to the next goal. That's how we've been built. Somebody said it means that, oh, we are insatiable. No, I beg to differ. It's being insatiable. It's not always desiring of things. No, it's always desiring to become a better individual. To become, not to want to acquire things. No, it's to become better. You understand? So now, the person that you are currently and the person that you would you want to become. The difference between the two of them is a gap, and that gap is time, the time gap. So, what do you do from the current person that you are now to the current person that you want to be? Look at the gap picture. Now, close your eyes. Let's do it. Picture who you want to become. Some people will say, oh, the Benz, but let's not do that. Picture that the lives that you will transform. The people whose story will change just by meeting you, just by crossing roads with you. The people who were suicidal, who would find new meanings for their life just by mentioning your name or coming in contact with you or just getting a hug from you, who would feel worthy and a sense of belonging just because you shook their hands, just because people who would feel that they are alive just because you told them that they're happy to know you, that you love them. Picture. Now, how does that feel? Exhilarating, right? I know. Okay, so I'm feeling mushy. So, okay, that's the power of the mind. Like we have to like travel to that person that we want to become. We have to travel to that person that we want to become. And now the difference between that person and the person that you are now, girl, it's just time. It's time. And now, because you pictured that person become, doesn't mean that you will become that person. There are steps that we pictured. So, and now you need to write down these things. Yes, I said it that tribe is going to be a practical challenge of our everyday lives. So, you're going to write it down. Yes, please. Yes, so write it down. What are the steps that will take you to fill up the gap to become that woman that you just pictured? So now, back then in 2017, yeah, I and a friend of mine, we read this book together. I don't know if you know the book, Brian Tracy, Goals. That was the title of the book. Now, at some point, Brian Tracy told us to write 100 goals, 100 goals that we wanted to achieve was it in the next 10 years or about a couple of years. Okay, so we chose 35 years, and every year I go back to that paper. Sometimes I do it quarterly, and sometimes I do it when I come across it. Like I always make sure that that pamphlet is in something that I carry everywhere with me. Not necessarily everywhere, but it's something that I can go to or I can just like encounter or come across it. So some days back I came across the leaflet and then I was going through it and I realized that um I'm not even 35 years. I have like I still have about 9 years to be 35 and I've achieved we didn't get up to 100 because at the time in 2017 back then we wrote it we didn't have so much goals. So okay, I didn't get to 100 actually. I'm going to still fill it up right now because almost everything is done. So I did I personally got up to 45. Yeah, I had up to like 45 goals. And then I realized that from 2017 till now, would I've achieved 75 of that stuff inside the pamphlet. And it got me thinking like, was it juju or now we wrote this thing down and then closed it. You understand? Because these were goals that we wanted to do before we were 35. But it did something to our mind. We knew that when people say, "Oh, what's your long-term goal?" Yeah, but it did something to our mind. It made us conscious of that gap and steps to take to fill up those gaps. Now, it's a book I recommend for you, Brian Tracy. Goals. That's the name of the book by Brian Tracy. You can get the Amazon e-version. You can get the hard copy. Your call. So that what it does is forces your mind to rethink on the gaps, like in the gap between the now you and the then you. You are just forced to think, oh, how do I bridge this gap? What are the necessary steps to take? Who do I want to become? I need to become A before I get to Z. I need to become D before I get to M. I need to reach. You understand? That's how it goes. And then you find yourself moving and living for yourself. You are consciously and constantly imbibing and growing. You're consciously imbibing and growing. You're consciously imbibing and growing. That's how you know that. That's how you know that you are moving forward. That's how you know that you are moving forward. So very quickly, we would be concluding this session, but I don't know if we have any questions for today. You can drop it in the comment section while we listen. You can drop it in the comment section from thing that happened with our growth mindset to actually making focused and clear decisions our life, focused and clear decision on our life, focused and clear decision on our lives, focused and clear decisions for our lives. So very quickly, you can send your questions in the comment section. We're waiting for you. We're waiting for you. Yes, yes, yes. I see you. I see you. I see you. Please share your questions with us so that we can get on with today's question. So now, things you need to take away from this session. Making mistakes doesn't make you a dumb person, or it doesn't make you less of your person. Now, I shared a story with you earlier about how Albert Einstein was slow at learning, but did it derail him from actually becoming the person that he wanted to be? No. He was slow at learning, yes, but did he learn? Mm-hmm. And even he learned well at that, because hello, he's dead and gone for how many years now? And you know his name. I know his name. So that's the kind of learning I want to be learning. That leaves a legacy behind. Yes. So making mistake doesn't make you a less person. It doesn't make you a less person. You only found out a way that it didn't work out. Now, we remember Thomas Edison, the light bulb guy, the one who tried, I think it's 999 times or 9,099 times. No, I think okay, 999 times. Thomas Edison. He said, never get discouraged from your mistake. Keep trying. There's something about that story that kept me wondering. I sometimes I think about it and I'm just wondering what kind of mind did he have to keep trying? Like 999. Him and sometimes I'm like, no, he must have been had an extra force because humanly, this thing humanly speaking, it takes an extraordinary individual with an extraordinary mind to see and be faced with challenges and still tell yourself that, oh, I'm not going to give up. I'm not going to give up. And that's the kind of mind we need to actually sustain the drive for growth. Regardless of where we find ourselves in, we keep moving, we keep sustaining our mindset for development, and actually trusting and hoping that we know that everything is gonna come together for our good. Now, I don't know if we still have questions so that we can take it. We can take it. I'm just going to go over our points as we close and while we wait for questions. So we have number one, view challenges as opportunity, eliminate fear. We already know what fear does. We already know what fear does, how it cripples. Learn, keep learning, prioritize learning over what people will think. Okay, picture that. If oh okay, I remember when I wanted to start my fashion learning, and at some point I felt like, oh, people think that a whole blossom, she's doing design, fashion design. And but because I knew that this is my passion, why would I prioritize what somebody else think over, like, but we know, like, some of us do that, and that's the truth. That's the hard truth. No, I said earlier that I'll be shaking some tables, but this is the concluding part. I did not really shake any table. You understand? This is the concluding part, but you understand. Prioritize learning over what people would think. If you're going to learn from it, it doesn't matter what people think. Okay, let me share a quick one with you. So I'm doing a course program on software testing, and I've never been a science student all my life. But being a software tester is actually one of the tech programs for women that doesn't require, oh, you have to code, know how to code, even though they're teaching us programming. So like it doesn't require serious coding like that. So there's sometimes some of the tools that our teacher asks us to use, and then everybody's done constructing, and I'm still there battling, and then I'm like, fam, you people should calm down, no sensible. And then sometimes I get pissed, but I'd never allow it to get to me because I enjoy learning, and I see it as an opportunity to move forward and grow. Yes, and someone was making a statement the other day. He said, some of these things that you know need it in real life situation. Quite and some of them are true. So some of the maths you study in school, you do not able to apply it in real life situations. But you know what it did for us? It helped our mind to be able to think and solve problems that came up in our lives, because that's what education does for us. It opens our mind up and enables us to be able to think for ourselves. So prioritize learning over what people would think. The second thing we spoke about was design your learning goals. Design your learning goal. We spoke extensively on that. Third one we spoke on was get clear on your vision. Get clear on your vision. Get clear on your vision. That was the third one we spoke about. We spoke about getting clear on your vision. Something else we spoke about was um, closing the gap. Closing the gap. Closing the gap. So I think that's all we spoke about. Closing the gap. We spoke extensively about closing the gap. You can watch the replay, and if you really want to get more on this session, we'll actually be holding off for a few minutes for questions, and we round up. Guys, any questions? Any questions? Any questions? Any questions? All right, so in absence of any questions, we would be ending today's session. Tomorrow we are going to be having my coach talk to us. Oh my goodness, like I don't want you guys to miss it. So tomorrow it's going to be Tinu Phillips Odufoye. She's going to be talking to us extensively. There's so much value that's going to be dropped, so much knowledge, clarity on how to move and then stay growing and thriving. So, guys, you do not want to miss this one. All right. Take care. See you tomorrow. Bye.